Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to or welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be pretty different from anything I've ever done before. So we're going to be talking about my journey with COVID-19. I am currently still positive, so I'm going to be talking about everything that I've done, my experience, things that have helped me, and if you're going through the same thing or if you're just interested in my story, then just go ahead and keep watching. Click the big red subscribe button down below, give it a big thumbs up, and let's just go ahead and get started. Okay, so for the longest time since March, you've been hearing about COVID-19 every single day of your life. You literally have not woken up one day and just not thought about it, right? Same here, it was always in my mind, but I literally never thought it would happen to me. I'm 19, I'm a healthy person generally. I don't really have any health conditions. I have asthma and I just have some random little things here and there that are just random health problems. But overall pretty healthy, and I'm not super active, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't have the best diet, so that's my underlying history there. But I really never thought that I would be the one to get this, and it was a crazy shock. So I'm just gonna go through the little timeline here. So last Saturday I was exposed to someone that had it, and it's currently Sunday the next week. And then on Monday I had started to have a really bad headache, and it wasn't the worst headache of my life, but it was like pretty bad, and I was like, wow, this feels like a migraine. I never get this. So I'm just gonna try to take a nap, and it just wouldn't go away. And then on Tuesday I woke up and I felt a lot better. I was like, oh, okay, I'm doing great. And then by the time the night came, after I had gotten home, I was like, wow, I really don't feel well anymore. Like, I had started to get body aches, and I had started to get really weak and feel kind of feverish. So my mom took my temperature, and sure enough, I had a fever. And at this point, I'm still not thinking COVID-19. I'm thinking a cold or a flu. It didn't really cross my mind to be like, oh, I probably have COVID. Like, people around me were messing around, being like, oh, maybe you're positive, whatever. I thought it was a joke. And then Wednesday comes, and I'm currently working from home, but I also kind of work on my campus as well. So it wasn't that big of a deal. It's not like I had been out everywhere, but on Wednesday it felt different. And so I had the body aches. I woke up and I wasn't feeling horrible Wednesday morning. I was just feeling a little weird. But then as Wednesday morning continued, I started feeling weirder, and I told my work, hey, I'm not gonna be able to come in today. And so at that point I was a little bit more concerned. And then Wednesday I had told my work everything going on, and they were like, all right, let's just not freak out. Let's just have you stay home for now, and we'll just see how it goes. So I'm like, okay, and it's progressively getting worse. Still not to the point where I'm like crazy horrible, I'm like dying of sickness. Like, I was just feeling like a weird flu. It was not too bad. It was just a lot of body aches and weakness, so it felt really heavy. I did have the headache, and I had a little bit of sinuses, and I was just feeling weird. And then my friend called me, and she had let me know that we were around somebody that tested positive. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, it was crazy, because at that point it clicked, and I was like, all right, this is COVID then. But I couldn't believe it, because I hear all these things that people are saying it's super horrible. So this is just my experience as a young person. I know for some people it's a lot worse, but this is very mild to me. Like, I had strep throat in June, and I couldn't walk, I couldn't see. Every time I would stand up, my whole vision would go blank. I would go white, and I didn't want to eat anything. I felt a million times worse in June than I did with this. So I was like, that's weird. And then when we found out, we were like, okay, let's go get tested. So I do want to give some clarity on the testing process for those of you guys who are in my shoes right now and you want to go get tested. I have severe anxiety over hospitals and over everything around the idea of healthcare hospitals. That whole realm, like sitting in a waiting room makes me almost pass out. It's crazy. So the idea of getting tested, I had heard of people getting their brains punctured from the thing, or that it was super painful for weeks, and all this stuff that I had heard, and I was terrified. I was like, oh my gosh. So in order to get tested, I could go down to a CVS or something, or we had Kaiser insurance. So I was like, I would rather do that. And so I had to get a doctor to approve the testing. So I had a phone call visit, and he was like, yeah, you need to go get tested. So it was a yes. And then I went that night with my mom to Kaiser. And at that point, she had not been showing symptoms, but I had. We both decided to get tested, and let me tell you, I broke down in the parking lot. I was having really bad anxiety over the whole testing thing because I was scared it was going to be super painful. And I went in, and then after I got tested, I was crying of happiness because it didn't even hurt. I don't know, I was praying in the car, sobbing before the Lord, like, please don't let it hurt for me. Like, I'm scared, like, I trust you. So other people have told me that it hurt, and it didn't hurt me. So I want to give you some what's the word? I just want to give you some peace around the testing process that I was terrified of. It was not that bad. It literally just tickled and felt super weird. I grabbed my mom's hand, but I was like, okay, that was not bad at all. Then the next day I woke up and I was feeling still weird, pretty achy and pretty sore and like fatigued. And I was, I think, just more anxious about my test results, and I was just wanting them to come in because it's a 24-hour test. And so I was just super anxiously waiting for them to come in, and then they came in on Thursday the next day. So I got them, they were positive, and I was sitting there just like in shock, but I was like also not even having a reaction that you would think. Like, I was just like, wow, okay. Like, I think it was more of a shock that I had COVID in my body and it didn't even feel crazy. Like, you hear about this for months and it's real in front of you, inside of you, and you're like, why am I not like crazy right now, you know? But it definitely affects people differently. So I was super grateful and just really praising the Lord that I had a really mild case. But yeah, so I was really shocked, and my boyfriend got his test results positive the next day, and a few of our friends who were there on Saturday got tested, some of them negative and then some of them positive. So I don't even know how exactly the encounter worked, that we would have gotten it or not. Maybe immune system, stuff like that. I really am not an expert on this at all. Just sharing my story. But so then I found out, and so my mom has been a huge help, and so I just wanted to share what I've been taking and what I've been doing. So that was the process of how it went for me. But here's what I've been taking and what I've been doing. So we heard that zinc is really good, so I've been taking these zinc cold therapy chewables. I was also taking some lozenges, like the little sucker things of zinc, just directed on there how many to take per day for my age and my weight. So I had been taking those, and then my mom is very homeopathic, so we've been just purifying the air with essential oils, different ones. I believe Thieves was the main one we were doing. And then I've been taking tons of vitamin D supplements, and I've been taking elderberry. That's another type of vitamin. So I've been taking all of those, as well as drinking so much water, like going to the bathroom 50 times because I have to pee. I just fill up my hydro flask and just chugging water. Luckily, I have not lost taste or smell, which a lot of people lose, and I'm really grateful to have not lost that, because I feel like that would just throw everything off super weird. I've been able to taste and smell perfectly fine, so got super lucky with that one. But been drinking so much water, just like chugging all day, all night, just getting refills, which is good to like coat your lungs and stuff like that, so they're all okay. But ultimately, I've just been resting like crazy. I've been trying to stay in my bed and just be sitting down, but it's hard. I'm feeling a lot better now, as today's Sunday. It's been a few days, and I still have a fever, but I don't have a headache anymore or body aches or anything like that, just some congestion. But for the most part, I'm literally fine. Like, I can walk around, I can do whatever in my house. So I have been fine. My whole family has been quarantining, but my mom has been a huge help in bringing me stuff like on a tray. So if you're going through the same thing, she would just bring in a tray with like a meal on it or with vitamins on it or whatever, and she would bring it in for me. But some other things that have helped me is, I'm in Southern California, and it is like 90 degrees outside in October. Despite the sweater, it is super hot outside, so I am blessed with that. For this case, because I've been outside, and the vitamin D coming in from the sun and being able to tan and sweat out toxins have been really helpful, and I really like to get out of my room and get a change of scenery. So I just put out a towel thing, like a little I don't really call it, like a floaty type thing that I have, like a raft, and I just go put a towel in it and a pillow, and I just go lay out in the sun, like in a swimsuit, and I just feel a lot better because you're getting the sunshine and you're not trapped in your room. It feels so nice to be outside even when it's hot, and again, sweating out those toxins. And we're also blessed because I have a exercise bike that we had upstairs. My dad and my brother brought that downstairs for me, so I can at least get moving a little bit, which that's helped. I tried to do like 30 minutes yesterday, and that really helped too, just keeping it on a low speed so I don't overexert myself, but that I'm still moving, so I'm not constantly sitting in one spot. I think that helped a lot too. And then just switching positions, because at first during the week when I really was more bedridden, my back was really hurting from laying in bed all day and sitting on my bed on my computer. So I tried sitting on the floor, laying on the floor, putting like a pillow up against the wall and laying that way, or laying on the ground, putting my feet up against the wall, just to kind of like alleviate pain by switching positions, I think really helped. So if you're in the same spot and you're sitting watching YouTube videos on your bed, I would definitely recommend, if you're able to, get up and sit at a desk or sit on the floor, or just try to move your position, because for me it hurt after a while sitting in the same spot. And then some things that I've been doing to keep busy is FaceTime. Me and my boyfriend have really been struggling because we haven't been able to see each other, even though he's still positive, and so I think that's been hard. So we've just been FaceTiming a lot, and we're so blessed to be able to have that. I think like past generations wouldn't have gotten to do that. So super blessed, as well as all the friends that were exposed who are quarantining. This has been one of the biggest things, was having all of them with us as we're going through this, so I don't feel so alone. So we've been playing Among Us so we have like Zoom or FaceTime going, and then we're playing Among Us together, and that's been really fun. Or we have a group chat where we can just talk, and we've been sending how we're feeling, or our test results when they came in and stuff like that. So I think just having friends around you that you can still talk to via phone is good. Even calling them on the phone or texting them. I've been texting friends for prayer and stuff like that, and being able to be on Zoom meetings has been a lifesaver, because you can still feel like connected. You're not just sitting here alone in your room. And then I definitely yesterday did like a really deep clean in here, and that felt so good. I just cleaned every surface of like my desk, my dresser, my what's that called, nightstand. And so I just took wipes and I cleaned everything. I cleaned the baseboards, the door handles, the doors, I dusted the blinds, and I went through my closet, cleaned out some clothes. Like, it just felt super good to clean. I don't know if it's just for me, it's super therapeutic. I love cleaning when it's not like forced on me. So I've been doing that a lot, and that's been nice. And then I just wanted to talk about like emotions. Like yesterday I broke down, and the day before, because it does get really tough, like seeing your plans get canceled because you have to have 14 days here, and going through some of those symptoms. Like a few days back I had a hard time breathing, and it was frustrating, and just not being able to see my boyfriend or friends, I think, has just been hard. But I was really humbled yesterday by my parents just letting me know, like, hey, you're not like in a prison here, you know, like you're in your room. You should be really grateful. You have a computer to watch movies on, and you have a phone, you can text people, you can call people, you know, it's not a prison. There's been so many worse things that have happened to people, where they're stuck on a ventilator in the hospital or things like that. So if you are truly blessed to be able to get through this but still on your bed in your own room, it was really humbling for sure. Just to be able to say, you know what, I have had a hard time with this, but it's okay, because you're gonna get through it, and it's not forever. It definitely was a struggle because it came so sudden. It was like all of a sudden I was sick, and then all of a sudden it was COVID. It wasn't a cold. And I think that was the hard part, because it was a shock all of a sudden. I was like, whoa, like everything just got canceled out of nowhere, and for the next 2 weeks. So it definitely has been hard to stay put. I'm a super busy person. I'm a people person. I love to be out doing things every weekend and being with friends as much as possible. So it definitely has been interesting, to say the least. I remember back in March I made a video called Things to Do When You're Bored and Quarantined, and I'm like, little did I know, this is way worse than that was. I was still out being able to do things. Hopefully as it gets better, I'll be able to go on a walk in the mornings. I'm hoping this upcoming week that I can, as I'm starting to improve and my fever's starting to go down. It was in the hundreds before, but now it's at 99, so I'll be able to go on a walk by myself outside, or I'll be able to just be up a little bit more, walking around my room and stuff like that. My whole family has been quarantined away from me, which has also been hard, just like talking to them from a distance and stuff, because you know, you want to be with your family, but I'm super grateful for them and what they've been doing for me. So yeah, that's my story of what's going on currently. I'd appreciate your prayers to get through this as quick as possible. I definitely do want to remind you guys that this is real. I definitely didn't take it as serious as I should have, but I also didn't want to hide away like forever. You know, at some point you can't sit around hiding for the rest of your life. You know, it's been 7 months now since the quarantine started. So you definitely have to be careful, but you also don't need to be like super crazy too far to one side where you're hiding and going crazy and stuff like that. But definitely prayers would be appreciated. I'm doing so much better now. I definitely feel not as weak anymore or anything like that, just kind of congested and pretty tired all the time, you know, not having a ton of energy. It's because I'm not really doing much, so I'm constantly sleeping. I'm not even setting an alarm, waking up at like 10:30, just trying to get as much rest as my body needs. But definitely, if you guys have any questions, I would love to chat in the comments, and if you guys have any suggestions for Netflix or Disney Plus or something, I would love to hear what those are, because I'm getting pretty bored. Also, YouTube video suggestions, I'm okay to sit here and film, so I can definitely film some more videos for you guys. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's a sad one, but I hope that you guys could gain some knowledge from this and hear my story on how I'm doing. I'm really, really grateful to be having a mild case that's not super bad. Super blessed to be able to stand here right now perfectly okay in front of you guys. So thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in my next one. Have a very blessed week. All right, bye guys.